Welcome everybody to the Low Blow Podcast. I'm your host Manny, and today I am joined only by everybody's OG. I don't know what happened to Lefty. I think he had a
Missing. Ice got him.
Ice
Ice
got
got
him.
him.
Ice got him at the airport. He was trying to make his way to Durango, and they got his ass. Rightfully so. I mean, all the shit he's been talking about,
Yeah, get his ass out of here, bro.
outside of the episode,
Yeah.
behind the scenes. I turned it all in, so they finally got him. Man, we have today. It's fight week. Keith Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora. Fundora being the champion. Big fight coming up. Should be an interesting undercard as well. But we want to kind of get into the big fight.
We've been talking about it for a while, so
They've been talking for a while. We've been pretty excited about this fight. At least you and I. Lefty wants nothing to do with Thurman for some reason. And I don't understand why. I mean, I feel like Thurman has given good fights, action-packed fights for the most part. I think all of his fights have been
it's just
fun to watch.
his lack of inactivity.
That's
right?
true. That was his problem with.
But I don't
Thurman.
get it because Lefty's favorite fighter is Crawford.
He fight-
Crawford
well,
fought once every 2 years, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it make sense. But this one's interesting because we have Sebastian Fundora, who is what do they call it, an anomaly or whatever, like someone
Yeah,
that's
man.
6 foot,
anomaly, yeah.
5, 6
6'6".
foot 7, 6'6".
Yeah.
Lanky as fuck, super long, hits hard, has knockouts under his belt.
Yeah.
When someone like his build is usually a distance fighter, jab all night.
No,
move
he's the
around.
complete opposite.
He loves to fight inside,
Yeah.
which I find very tough to watch sometimes because he gets hit a lot.
A lot,
With
yeah.
that being said, he gets hit a lot, wide open, and that's because he has to reach far. Usually, like, he has to even on the inside, he has to really get low, and so he's wide open for these fighters.
Yeah, especially because he's a tall fighter, so his punches tend to be a lot longer, right? So it kind of opens you up a little bit with a shorter fighter. You know what I mean? With a quick, counter and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
and we've seen him go down. We've seen him get knocked out in devastating fashion. But he is the champion. He made it this far. He's has some amazing wins, fun fights. So I mean, don't get us wrong. We love to watch him fight. We think his fights have all been pretty action packed.
Yeah.
So with that being said, how do you see this one playing out?
I've been saying it for a while, so I feel like I know a lot of people don't think because Thurman's lack of inactivity and stuff like that. I thought before, I would say about 6-7 years ago, I thought Keith Thurman was probably one of the best fighters in the world at that time. You know what I mean? His only loss is to Pacquiao. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
His only loss was to Pacquiao, and
An old Pacquiao though.
but it was a close fight, bro. It was I think that little knockdown, that little flash knockdown
knockdown.
kind of made a difference in the fight. But even then, he should have got, for a level of fighter he should have got Pacquiao out of there. You know what I mean? A lot sooner than that. So, but at the same time, like Fundora, actually, he's hot right now. You know what I mean? All his fights, he's the past few fighters. I mean, obviously the Zoo fight.
No pun intended. The Towering Inferno.
Yeah. The Zoo fight. I mean, he completely destroyed Zoo. You know what I mean? So,
Wait. Hold on. I don't know about completely destroyed. Sue was winning that fight until he got cut up.
Okay.
Until he got beat up.
Until he got beat up. Yeah, you were winning till you were not. You know what I mean?
But that was a lot of bleeding. Yeah.
So it's just and it's his fight style. But I don't think he's gonna be able to catch Thurman like that. That's just my opinion. I think Thurman is a little bit more technically, a lot more sound than Zoo is. You know what I mean? Zoo's all out. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. He just gives. It was just I thought the difference in that fight was just the height difference. You know what I mean? That made a big difference. It might make the same thing.
That makes a difference in pretty much all Sebastian. Except the one where he got knocked out, but he was winning. He was doing good in that fight too. Yeah. But that usually makes a difference because even when he is someone that tall, that lanky, we've seen it with Espinosa. When they hit, it's almost like a whip. It has a fucking big ball of stone at the end of the arm. He just comes in lanky and he hits hard as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that I would say about Thurman is obviously that's not on his side is the age. We say he was 37.
37 is
in boxing. That's 60 something.
Yeah, and that's a 9-year gap. But however, I don't think Keith Thurman is a boxing 37 years old because he hasn't fought that much.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean? That's a bit like if someone else was like a typical Mexican fighter, 37 is super old.
Been through
right?
it all.
But Keith Thurman I don't think he's ever taken I don't think he's ever gotten to like a real fight, like a brawl type of, one of those fights. You know what I mean?
Well, he has with Sean Porter. Those.
I mean,
Thurman will give him whatever you will give you whatever you give him. If you wanna throw down and get in the middle of the ring and brawl, he'll brawl. If you want to box, he can do that too. You know.
Well, he's gonna have to brawl in this fight because Fundora doesn't know how to box and like go 12 rounds just like boxing and cut in the ring and keeping a distance and stuff like that. That's not Fundora's style, right? So Thurman's gonna have to fight and he's gonna have to counter. So one of the hooks, he's got to land a hook, which we've seen Fundora get knocked down on. So I think that's the key in the fight. So
can Thurman knock down Sebastian?
He's got the power.
Yeah.
He's got the power. I mean,
I think so.
But then again, like we've seen him fight once in the last 5 years.
No. Okay.
Right,
he fought the Brock kid in Australia, and then, damn, you might be right.
Yeah. So he hasn't fought much at all, right? Which I get why people, which we'll get into.
Oh no, he fought Barrios, which was probably around the 5 year.
Right.
So maybe twice in the last 5 years.
Right. That's not enough at all, man.
In which he put a masterclass against Barrios.
Right.
But we've said it many times. No disrespect to Barrios. What does
With
that
disrespect.
even mean? Well, no, when you put on a masterclass against someone like Barrios, which Ryan Garcia also did.
Right. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. So I think that's the only thing. Like that's my reservations about the fight. Like picking a fight will be because of his. And then you're fighting someone like you're jumping ahead. You're jumping a class, fighting Fundora. You know what I mean? Like you're fighting here that even at plus a 5 year layoff, and now you're jumping right up here. You know what I mean? To fight someone that's like on top of his game right now. I think this is the best Fundora's ever looked. You know what I mean? So in his career, so he's in like his prime, mental, physical prime. 28 years old.
He still seems hungry to me. He still seems like he wants to keep winning. He doesn't seem like he's been chilling now. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see what Thurman comes up with someone like Thurman. I mean, with someone like Fundora, with that size and that style, which is very different from your usual tall fighters. We might see a different Fundora this time. We might see him maybe trying to box this time, trying to switch things up. You don't think so?
Nah, hell.
You don't think it's trainers? You know what? We got to switch it up this time.
Nah. There's no way.
And
I would expect them to kind of actually put more pressure on an older fighter, and someone that hasn't wear him down, someone that hasn't fought in a while. You know what I mean? So like you want to wear him down as the later rounds and stuff like that goes on. So.
All right, so
I can see that happening.
So final prediction. Oh, okay, I agree. I think Sebastian Fundora if he's gonna beat Thurman, he has to beat the shit out of him.
Exactly.
He has to make Thurman stay away for another 5 to 10 years.
He doesn't have to do that shit. What do you mean?
You know what I'm saying? He has to beat the shit out of him so Thurman knows. Okay, now it's a different level. Now I'm older. I'm up there. And also for us to be convinced about Sebastian. I mean, as far as like elite level, top 3. Because there's some dogs coming up too, and they're his
that
age.
Division stacked, man.
His age, yeah.
You got Ennis, you got you got Virgil in
Virgil.
that. Yeah, so that's a stacked thing. But if he beats Thurman, and if he beats Thurman convincingly, I mean he jumps up and like forget the division. I think he jumps up in the pound for pound rankings too. You know what I mean?
He should. I mean,
yeah.
But that's okay. So real quick predictions for this fight.
I'm not gonna go off and I've been sticking to it since we first heard about the fight and then it got postponed. I think Thurman wins the fight.
By?
I mean, the only way I can see him win the fight is by TKO or knockout.
Okay.
That's just me because I think Fundora's gonna press. He's gonna have to get him out of there. If the fight goes 12 rounds, there's no way I don't see Thurman, being able to last that long. You know what I mean? So I think if he wins TKO, knockout, I'm gonna stick to it.
What round?
6.
Damn, I don't know, Sebastian. I mean, he could go down. Yeah, it's not. But does Thurman have the power? He looked good in his last fight, but then again, he fought some guy from Australia that nobody really knew. So, a young kid.
I mean, it's a good way to put your money on it because the odds of Thurman beating Fundora by a knockout TKO is probably gonna be crazy.
Man,
yeah.
Part of me says the same thing. Part of me says Thurman, because I'm a big Thurman fan, always been, That's my only complaint about him is the lack of fighting.
Yeah, and minus he's being corny as fuck.
Oh yeah, corny as
but, like,
shit,
you know
super
what I mean?
corny.
I think that's what gets some people don't like him because of that too. But that dude was super talented, man.
I would say top 3 corny out there for sure when it comes to media press. Part of me is because I don't like doubting Thurman because I feel like Thurman always kind of shows up for his fights, except for the ones he doesn't. Fucking he backs out. Except for he didn't show up to Errol Spence. Didn't want to show up to Crawford.
Yeah, my only disappointment is that because he
Never
should have fought
two.
them. He should have fought those. They all should have fought each other. Like I said at one point, the only person that didn't fight him was Thurman. So
I'm gonna go ahead and say Sebastian is gonna TKO him. He's gonna come in hungry as fuck and understanding that he needs to get Thurman the fuck out of here. There has to be no doubts on. You can't have this old man come in and put the champion. Even though Pacquiao did it to Thurman too. I mean,
but let me ask you this though: if Thurman does win, now he's
you have to.
Now you got to deal with his bullshit, right? Now everyone's got to deal with his bullshit. He's gonna be right on top. He's like, hey, I'm the champ now. This is for the WBC Super Welterweight title. So like, I mean, Thurman's gonna have the title. He's gonna be back up there. He's gonna talk his shit. He might not fight for 2 more years after that, but you know he's gonna. You're gonna have to go through the whole press and like all the shit talking.
That's the problem. If he does win, Sebastian being the champion is better for boxing than Thurman being a champion. Thurman being a champion,
I agree with that.
Things might make it might make things a little interesting if Thurman wins and by like knockout. Like that puts him up there in the talks with the top 5 right now against fighting those guys. You know what I'm saying? Virgil's gonna have to call him out, and is gonna have to call him out, and for them, it might be an easy pickup. Like if Thurman is the champion, he's 37, he'll probably be 38, 39 by the time they face him.
Right.
That might be a good look for them. But I think what will be interesting is if Thurman wins, what if Errol Spence says, I'll take Thurman?
Oh, that'd be good. that'd be like, Errol Spence can make a comeback and
that'll put him straight into the champ if he wins. I mean,
yeah, and then Thurman will call out Crawford, and Crawford won't fight him, and he'll be like, "Yeah, see, I told you, you know what I mean? He won't fight me."
I'm retired now.
Yeah, so it's just
He's
like
streaming now.
You're gonna get a lot of bullshit. You're gonna get a lot of like fake fights that's gonna be like, oh, this fight is gonna make it happen. If Fundora wins, he's gonna fight somebody. He's gonna stay active. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. He's already lost. I mean, he's got the L out of his way. So I don't think he feels that pressure of staying undefeated anymore.
Yeah. Well, Thurman as well. He's got the loss too.
Thurman as well.
You know what I mean? So it's not like the only people that probably. I think that would be more.
But
wary of his probably. Like,
Thurman is more of those guys that if when he loses, he has to go into a whole mental journey, a whole spiritual journey. Go out to Ecuador and do some ayahuasca or some shit.
The Aaron Rodgers shit.
The Aaron Rodgers shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know about Sebastian how he took his last loss, but his only loss. But there's fighters like that, like the Ryan Garcias, the Teofimo Lopez, Thurman. When they lose, it's like they're depressed for
mentally
years.
It's different. Yeah, we don't want to knock nobody for it. It is what it is. To each his own. But certain fighters. I mean, back in the day, a loss didn't matter, bro. You lost, you came back, you were gonna fight. That's the thing with boxing nowadays. Like, I think most boxers feel like if they get an L in the system, they're not gonna get that big paycheck. They're not gonna get that big fight. That's not gonna happen if they have a loss in their record and stuff like that. So I think Floyd has something to do with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of over with now, though. Yeah. I mean, there was a moment where that had boxing on a chokehold, and now I feel like fighters can take an L. Ryan Garcia. Yeah, he's a fucking champion now.
Yeah, but now
how many L's did he take before?
Well, the thing with Ryan Garcia has a huge social media, following and stuff like that, which is gonna help. So fighters like that, it's not really gonna matter.
It's absolutely gonna help. If you're gonna take L's, you want to have a following no matter what. Right. People that are gonna show up to the stadiums, because that's gonna get you the title shot.
Right. Anyway. You're either gonna have people that are with you, or you're gonna have people that are gonna call them like soft, or this and that, but they're still gonna tune in to watch the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I got Sebastian winning TKO. I would say, I'm going to match yours 6th round as well, just to fucking make it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm a betting man, I'm taking Fundora. I'm just saying, I just can't back out of my original thing. I've been saying it for like 6 months now. So
how do you see it playing out early, in the beginning?
Well, I think Thurman's going to be actually a little bit more reserved. He's going to kind of feel him out, see how it is. Maybe I think the first punch that's landed by Fundora is going to kind of dictate how the fight goes the rest of the fight. You know what I mean? For the rest of the way, how Keith
Thurman's going to be able to.
If Thurman's like, it's cool, I can handle this, so I can see how it is, and then I think Thurman will be a little bit more aggressive. But if Fundora catches him and, catches him well, and if it's too much, I think Thurman will probably just
go to work.
Yeah, back off. You know what I mean? Try to pick and choose and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think Thurman's gonna start. He's an experienced fighter. He's been through it all. He's gonna take his time. I think he's gonna read Sebastian. Sebastian gonna be the younger, hungrier fighter, eager to get him out of there. He might get lucky and land some hard punches in the beginning. And like you said, Thurman's gonna be able to tell right away. Okay, I'm gonna have to be a little more reserved for this fight.
Yeah, he's not gonna have to wait that long.
He hits hard as fuck.
Fundora's gonna press him and he's gonna try to land a punch.
He's gonna take a hit and like, oh, the fuck, this ain't shit. I'm
right,
gonna,
exactly.
Let's go to war. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's definitely how I see it playing in the beginning. And I think you're right. I think if it does go past the 6 rounds, I only see Thurman getting slower and slower. I mean,
right,
because
and I agree with that too. The only way I think for Thurman, another key, which I forgot to mention, will be the work to the body. I think he's got to work to the body, taller fighter, break him down. You know what I mean? Bring him down to your level a little bit. You know what I mean? So the punches have more effect on the punches to the head and have a little bit more, oof to it, except for like where you. A taller fighter, you're reaching up. It takes some of the power off. So
you know what? That's a good point because Thurman has shown that he can't fight going backwards. Pacquiao took him down like that. Right. Sebastian has the length to reach him on the weight, pushing him back. Yeah. He can reach him, pushing Thurman back. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. I think if I were if I'm watching the fights and I'm Sebastian's trainer, that's kind of what I would be aiming for: pressure. Make him move back and catch him on the way back.
But thing with Fundora is he wants to throw that fucking uppercut. So,
but that's the problem.
So he himself closes a gap. You know what I mean? Without even other fighters having the opponent having to close in the gap. So he loves throwing the uppercuts, man. So I think one of the uppercuts, that's what is Keith's chance to land the hook up top. You know what I mean?
And I would imagine it's hard to run away from Sebastian for 12 fucking rounds.
It's 6'6", bro.
Exactly.
How you gonna run away
2
from
steps
6'6"?
and he's there in front of you.
How big the ring is, it doesn't really matter. You got a tall ass fighter. He's trying to be able to easily close.
I wonder what the ring size is for this, because it's true. I mean, he's super tall. 2 steps and he's in front of you. No matter which direction you want to go.
Exactly.
Interesting. And we'll take a quick break. Let me make sure. Oh, so let's wrap this up. So, yeah, man, it should be an interesting fight. I'm excited for this one. Keith Thurman, we're seeing the comeback of him fighting at an elite level compared to in his last fight. So we're big fans of Thurman over here. Hopefully it's a good fight.
Yeah, catch it. And it's on Prime too, man. So it's not on fucking DAZN with all their bullshit, It's on Prime. I think it's free, so yeah.
In my opinion, ESPN has been the worst fucking app for fights.
ESPN?
The worst. DAZN is a close second. But ESPN has been terrible. You gotta go through all this ESPN Plus, and you gotta find it through there.
Yeah. Well, this one Prime, so Prime's been pretty good about.
I love Prime. I love Netflix fights. Yeah. Those are so much easier, and we haven't had any issues with them. So, let's tune in next week, and then we'll come back and see who was right. I feel like we're both fucking wrong, but we'll see. We're gonna get a fucking draw, 12 round, boring ass fight. All right, man. This brings me to my next point. I wanted to talk about Thurman coming back to boxing at this level for a championship fight. Is it fair for the up and comers?
Well, of course, if you look at it from an up and comers perspective, of course not. But the problem with boxing is they always feel like they have to throw the big name out there, right? To draw a crowd, to draw people, draw numbers towards a fight, right? So that's why the big names are always going to get a shot at some sort of a fight. I agree, to get a title shot, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? Thurman's not even a top 10 welterweight right now.
And not because
not because
of his skills, but because of the lack of
lack of activity and stuff like that. You haven't fought in such a long time. And I agree, but it's always going to go to big names, bro. Like it's just like in any sport, bro. In football and stuff like that, they're not going to show you a freaking Charlotte Hornets, you know what I mean, game on ESPN or one of the primetime games. It's always going to be like a LeBron, a Steph. Doesn't matter if they're doing well or not. So the big names draw the crowd. That's what their ratings and things like such that nature. Which we'll get into, like we talked about it. For the younger fighters, something like Zuffa is going to help. Because they're going to be fighting every week. You know what I mean? People are going to get to see the faces. You know what I mean? That's what's going to draw. That's the way to build a young fighter. You know, it's not to never show their fucking fights. You know what I mean? To hide them away, have their fight on a fucking random card. You know what I mean? It's not going to help. So
yeah, but also they're taking much more risk and for what kind of pay at Zuffa. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say they're fighting more, that means they might take it more L's. When in boxing, what they've been doing is obviously building up a fighter, easy fight after easy fight. One sort of hard fight with the big, decent name, and then easy fight, and then title shot.
Yeah, but you gotta kind of go away from that old book, like you're saying, they'll fight easy fight. And the tough fight is not really a tough fight. It's against like a 39, 40-year-old journeyman,
with the name,
right? With the name or something like that's fought bigger fighters. Doesn't necessarily mean they beat them, just fought them, and then they get like a title shot, right? And now you feel like you can't lose that fight. So, but I think the hype, the train, even like that, I think that's gone too. You know what I mean? Because there's so many different platforms.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, you had like Showtime, HBO. You had that. Everyone tuned into that. Now, we just talked about picking. You had DAZN, you got Netflix, you got Prime, you got, Paramount,
ESPN,
ESPN.
Now,
So you got like a bunch of these streaming services that are showing the fights, and a lot of people don't know either. Because the rising popularity of UFC as well. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like taking some of the young talents and just like hidden away. You know what I mean? The only way you get like a hype train, Bob said, like it's like a certain type of fighter, like Xander Zayas. He's got the big Puerto Rican following and the whole Puerto Rico Mexico type of thing. You'll get him. He'll get a hype, but I'm talking about a normal Mexican fighter out of somewhere or a fighter out of the States.
That's what I'm trying. I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out, because Sebastian has plenty of competition, and I'm not saying Sebastian chose Thurman or anything. That's the matchmakers, whoever was in those rooms, like, why wouldn't they say, let's get Virgil in there? Obviously, Virgil's going through some legal shit now, but let's get Boots in there. Let's really test these fighters. Or maybe they're planning towards that way eventually. Eventually they're gonna clash. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. It's business. We're businessmen here. We understand how building up a fighter, how that works.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for example, as a boxing purist, someone that loves boxing, I would have loved to see, you could put Thurman versus Tim Tszyu, and we would be like, oh, it's going to be a good fucking fight. It's not going to be any belts.
Right.
It's not going to be but is it going to draw, is it going to sell not a theater, not a stadium, obviously, but a decent size, venue?
Yeah, the thing with that is, that's great for the purists.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help the bottom line.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Whereas, like, here's the thing, though. Like, in a Zuffa format, which is, they pretty much kind of, like, copied off the UFC format, right? Dana's taking that. What it's going to do is, it's not going to matter if you have a loss if you're fighting within the league, right? So, quote, unquote, right? So, a L is not going to, make a bit. It's not going to hinder you as much. Right, going to set you back so much far because you'll get an opportunity to fight again. You know what I mean? So you see a lot of UFC fighters, not that many have, much of them got multiple losses in their system and they're still fighting, right? Because as long as you're fighting a certain style and you're active, you'll be fine. You know
yes
what I mean?
And no. Because UFC ain't making the good fights happen, the fights that people want to see now. And that's because, in my opinion, they refuse to pay someone like John Jones.
Because a lot of people
refuse to pay.
Because the pay aspect.
Francis Ngannou, who's probably the best heavyweights, one of the best heavyweights they've ever had.
Right.
They just let him walk out. You know what I'm saying? Like, without trying to negotiate.
But it sucks for both ends, though. Ngannou's not making money. He's not fighting.
He's made enough money to retire if he wants.
But he made it through boxing.
He fought Fury. He fought AJ.
Yeah,
he made it through boxing. He had to get out.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have to do that, though. So that's my only concern with Zuffa is, we might see more fights, and we might see the fights, but are we going to see the fights that we want to see as boxing purists?
Right, but the thing with that is, it's the difference is like Turkey. You know what I mean? He's not in the UFC, so I think he has a lot to do with like what kind of fights they try to make and who fights and shit like that. So I think they'll do cross promotion type of thing and get the good fights going.
I have a theory about the UFC now. I've been thinking a lot about how the UFC the events have been very lackluster, and I feel like Dana is purposely not putting all his all into UFC, because what I think is happening, mark my words, when this happens, they're letting the UFC kind of go down,
a little bit,
so that who can come in and sweep it up?
Turkey.
Well,
I know he would love that shit because they want to take over a bunch of this stuff. They want to take over the boxing. The Saudis already took over fucking golf with Live and stuff like that, right? To think about how to take all the top golfers from PGA. So I don't know. don't know about the UFC. The UFC is still putting
There's
up
potential.
cards. Like, people that love UFC, there's like, my boys watch fights every weekend. They're like, oh, this is a great card. This is a great card. So I don't know. Maybe that's a pure UFC fans. I know, you know what I mean. They're really into it. But you know, they're building their fucking stupid ass White House card. So.
But I will say the UFC had me, who I'm a boxing guy, but I mean I like UFC as well. I would tune into these fights when we had.
Well, they're missing the fighters.
Yeah.
They're missing characters.
They're
missing their charismatic stars and stuff like that. So if you don't have Ngannou, the people that sell the fight, John Jones not there, Cormier, obviously McGregor's not there.
They keep
Khabib's not there.
They keep bringing in Justin Gaethje. They keep bringing in Dustin Poirier, which could give exciting fights. But same thing we're talking about boxing. They keep bringing like the older guys because they're gonna give you a good fight.
But that's the thing. You gotta have a common. There's a mix of both. You gotta have a mixture of both. Like a great fight, then you gotta have someone that can sell the fight. You know, as corny as Keith Thurman is, he does sell the fight. You know what I mean? With all his bullshit that he says, people don't like it, but that sells the fight. People are like, oh, he's corny as fuck.
I tuned in to watch his Brock fight.
Right. A lot of people will watch him to lose, get his ass whooped, right? So, like, they will tune in just because of that. So, it sells. It doesn't matter how corny you are. It's like the oldest thing in the book, man. It's been going on in the fight game for over, 70, 80, 90 years, man. So
all that to say that it's just fucking business.
It's business.
Straight up.
It's nothing. If people were able to make the same amount of number, you had a number off this fight, so you're like, I'm gonna make this number regardless, we'll see better fights. Yeah. You know what I mean? You won't see just names out there. So someone like Thurman would have to wait his turn, or would have to like get a couple of fights in to get a fight, rather just coming right in. Like Pacquiao's gonna get a fight. If Pacquiao wants to fight this year, he's gonna get a fight with whoever he wants to fight, because that fight's gonna sell. And the person he's fighting is gonna take that fight easily. But like, oh, it's an older fighter, whatever. But I'm gonna get paid.
Yeah, that's true, and he needs the money. So Pacquiao definitely.
Pacquiao needs the money too.
That's what I heard, man. It's fucked up, but I heard he's down bad too.
So him and Floyd Mayweather's gonna have another mega fight.
That's gonna happen.
Bunch of old
and guess what? We're gonna tune in on Netflix to watch that bullshit. And I think Pacquiao if they actually fight, I think Pacquiao would beat him this time.
Yeah, because Pacquiao doesn't change his life. He's been active. Yeah, he's been active, man. Yeah.
So that would be, I guess, interesting. I guess, but yeah, I mean, all that to say is business. It's all business, unfortunately, and we have to keep tuning in. We got Nakatani versus Inoue, mega fight in Japan.
Yeah, in May, bro. That's gonna be so sick. And that's another thing too. I think we have that. There's a potential. There's a lot of stuff. Abdullah Mason. We got a bunch of upcoming fighters that can be built up, and I think we'll kind of transition away from like those older fighters, Pacquiao, and hopefully these young guys build the stuff up, and we can showcase them in a sense, right? So they can fight we can get in a year, 2 years, 3 years. We can get a big Puerto Rico versus Mexico fight with Xander Zayas versus whoever. So I think it's gonna get there eventually. We just gotta see how it plays out with Zuffa for you gotta give him a year or two to see how it's gonna play out.
I mean, I'm not mad at Zuffa. I'm interested to see where it leads to. I think they're getting good fighters in there. They're getting a good roster stacked up. So I'm curious, man. I mean, what they're gonna do with people like Andy Ruiz, with people like Opataya, people like.
And that's another thing we gotta talk about, like Opataya. Those fights, that's Opataya versus I don't know if it fight, but whoever Opataya fight, that's an exciting fight, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to see Opataya versus obviously the Monster and stuff. That would be sick.
That'd be crazy.
That's a mega fight.
That would be a mega fight. Yeah. David Benavidez has a fight coming up versus Zurdo.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be a good fight. At first, I didn't give Zurdo too much credit. But not that he's fucking gonna beat David Benavidez, but when I seen him face off, he's a lot bigger than David Benavidez.
Big dude, yeah.
So a Zurdo in shape could give Benavidez some trouble, but I think his pressure is just gonna be too much.
Benavidez's pressure.
It's too hard. We'll get into that fight as it gets closer.
It's a month away, a month and a half away, closer.
Yeah, you know what I've been wanting to talk about? I keep forgetting to bring it up. I keep forgetting to give it to Lefty to put into the topics. But Diego Pacheco, have you seen what he's been saying about Mexican fighters?
No.
So he did an interview at the radio station, and this was maybe about 2 weeks ago, and he said that Mexican fighters don't have any skills, that they just come forward.
Oh, just head down and come.
Compared to Mexican American fighters, and that basically the way he said it was like Mexican fighters will never beat Mexican American fighters.
He's talking about that right now, or he's talking about just overall in general?
That was 2 weeks ago. Over in general, they saying history has shown that there's no such thing as
So what about fighters like Eric Morales and fucking, and
Well,
Marco
he wouldn't
Antonio?
consider Eric Morales talent or skillful. He'll consider him just a brawler. He consider he don't know anything. Obviously, Salvador Sanchez,
Which is far from obviously.
Finito Lopez, super talented. So I thought my thing was okay.
Canelo ain't got no skills.
Canelo, the latest one out there, but I mean, I think Canelo. When you think about Canelo, his prime, like when he showed some real fucking skill, was against that British kid. He broke his face. Fuck.
What you talking about? You talking about Canelo?
Yeah, Canelo. When he beat obviously against Triple G, there was some good fights. He showed some real skill there.
No, that span, that what was it, like the 5-year span?
After Triple G.
After Triple G, that was Canelo's all time, where he fought like all these guys. He fought Lemieux and all those guys. Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah. I think that was like pure skill, because Billy Joe is a very skillful, slick fighter. Caleb Plant, those were like good examples, But yeah, I thought it was interesting because, bro, like don't say dumb shit in general. When you have potential to capture a huge fan base,
right?
A huge fan base that can triple, quadruple your money, because if you can get the Mexicans behind you, they're gonna watch your fights. Yeah. So don't say dumb shit, bro. Yeah, that might be what you're thinking, okay. And also, like, your last fight wasn't that great either, bro.
Exactly,
So for him to say that he lost a lot of Mexican fans, and he doubled down on it, like, a couple of days later on the barbershop, he was like, I'll never lose to a Mexican, like, a real Mexican fighter.
All right, we'll see about that.
He's like, I went to Mexico, and he's like, I never lost to these guys. Like,
I think there's I think like most like these like American and Mexican fighters, they feel like they're not accepted. Like
that was his thing.
They're not accepted, so they just it's like they just say shit out of because I think universally it's been it's like acknowledged that hey, Mexican fighters are tough, man. That's just the way they fight. There's even if like it's just like someone like, I'm not saying it, but like how people say, like, I'm gonna throw like a cross reference out there. Certain people just fight, like Gaethje, right? He has a wrestling background. He's a great wrestler. He's an All-American wrestler and stuff.
Yeah.
He never wrestles.
Yeah.
He just wants to fight.
Bro.
You know what I mean? Like, and Mexican fight, they just want to fight. They want to fight. But that does not mean you're not technical. You're not, technically sound. I think Eric Morales, for me, is one of the most technically sound fighters, bro. I love that dude. So I don't get the whole,
Yeah, I don't really. To me, I get it. Like, we talked about how obviously the black fighters, American fighter style gives Mexican fighters a hard fucking time.
But that's different. That's like athleticism, speed, and certain things.
It's like different styles. Right. Obviously, like, styles makes fights.
Right.
But don't go out there and saying that. And then his thing was, well, I don't care. I'm not accepted by the Mexicans. Bro, stop being a bitch. I'm so tired of all these Mexican-American fighters, Mexican-American, like, I'm tired of people complaining about that shit. I'm not from there, and I'm not from here. I'm not accepted by the Mexicans. I'm not accepted by Americans. Bro, stop being a fucking bitch and fight and win fights, bro.
Right, exactly. It's not. You're not accepted. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that people who they relate to more. You know what I mean? Like, so it's one of those things. Like, okay, fight like them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't see David Benavidez, who's probably has gotten it the most from Mexican fan base. He's not real Mexican. He's Ecuadorian. He's half Ecuadorian. And you don't see him complaining about. He still talks Spanish. He still says Viva Mexico. He still represents because he understands to be a superstar. Like, I need this fan base.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna because I feel some type of way.
And Benavidez fights like a typical Mexican.
And he fights like a Mexican. Yeah. So like I think that was such a stupid thing for Diego Pacheco to say, and for him to keep doubling and tripling down on it. It's just bad PR. It's simple. Yeah. I love Mexican fighters. I grew up watching them. And nothing but respect for them. Respect to all the legends.
Yeah, it can't be. It doesn't have to be your cup of tea, but you don't have to, like, just because it isn't. That doesn't mean you have to say something
never lose
negative.
To Mexican, like you said, we'll see. But yeah, I thought that was such a dumb thing to say. I've been wanting to talk about it because it's just bad PR. Bad PR. You can feel that way if you want, but when you say it out in the open, it sounds dumb. It sounds like you don't respect the people that came before you. You know what I'm saying? To kind of pave the way for.
And a lot of time, I think right now, like another thing is I feel like everyone feels like they have to give like a take.
Yeah,
like in hot take. You have to. No, you don't. You don't have to give a hot take.
That's
Everyone
what I'm
just feel
saying.
like they have to give a hot
Shout
take.
out to all Mexican fighters. I fought in Mexico for a long time. Blah blah blah. Nothing but love and respect.
Just be original for once. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean the radio station knew what they were doing when they asked him that question. Obviously,
And that's another thing. So you can't like a lot of these guys bait you into saying shit like that too. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's all good.
it is what it is, man. Get some PR training. Get a team that can help you with that. I took some of that shit when I was doing
Get the fuck out of here.
When I was doing live TV. I was doing I'd done a live episode. Though live is different. Live you have to be careful what you're gonna say because.
What do you mean?
If I'm doing a live interview, I'd done live interview with WGN.
Right.
And it hit me, and like, holy shit! Like, what if they throw a question at me? How do you feel about Pat? What's going on in Gaza?
All right, you know what? Let's give some people a little bit of a PR training. So what's something like that that they tell you, like going into it? What's like the fine points like they tell you that we don't say this or don't say that?
I had this talk with my wife because I asked her, like, man, like obviously I feel strongly about this way. I say free Gaza, free Palestine, right. And what they're doing over there is genocide.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like I have to be very smart in how I say the things. People know who I am and what I back up and what I support.
Right.
But me going on TV, it doesn't help anybody. And if I go out into a tangent, it doesn't help anybody. Yeah. So you have to be very careful. You know, you say, I think something like that. The PR lady told me. It was just like in case something like that. And it was during the Ukraine, I think, where I was like, man, what did they ask me about this shit? So my wife hooked me up with somebody, her friend who does that. And she's like, it's simple. Like, do you like war? I'm like, no, of course not. Like, well, then say war is terrible no matter what. Like, So
it's different verbiage. You can get the message across without having to say certain things.
Without saying, fuck this side and they're all scumbags, blah, blah, blah.
But you can use certain words, but like they'll know, okay, that's what he stands.
It's terrible what's happening out there. I wish no more violence happens anywhere. Blah, blah. PR train, no fucking regular shit. But that's like for when you do interviews like WGN.
Yeah, but you can't. I don't think you can train someone that's been fucking punched in their fucking head for like every day. You know what I mean? It's hard to like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, get to a certain point.
Well, I think David Benavidez does a great job at it. I think he's super smart. I think he's very, very articulate the way he words certain things while still sounding aggressive and still.
He sounds scary, aggressive in all his shit.
Yeah, he sounds aggressive without offending people. He'll talk shit about Canelo, obviously, rightfully so. But, like, without offending all the Mexican fighters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With all the Mexican fans. Yeah. Like, now Diego is, like, spilling into the Mexican fans.
No, but like, what were you saying with Benavidez? He's telling the truth.
Yeah.
He's not making up shit. He's not, hypothetically speaking, in the sense, like, oh, I don't think this guy, if this were to happen, that would be the case.
They say the truth is subjective, or they say, like, it depends who, it might be the truth.
Yeah. Your truth is not mine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Someone's going to get offended no matter what, obviously.
Right.
But I think, you're right. I mean, I think definitely they need to get work on that, get some PR training. A big example of that was these artists, these kids named Yaritza y Su Esencia from Mexico. Huge artists on their way up to, like, superstardom. And they were in Mexico City, and they asked them a question in the radio station or a TV show out there in Mexico City. Oh, what do you think about Mexico City so far? How has your stay been?
Right.
And they said, oh, man, the food is bad. It's so noisy, so much traffic. Like, we weren't able to sleep. Bro, their career got destroyed because of... They just went in on, like, Mexico City. It's like, it could have been simple. Oh, we love Mexico City.
Or just talking out loud? Is that what they say?
Yeah. These were kids, like 17-year-old kids and shit. Like, they're young. But I mean, in my head, I'm like...
is that with the girl and the...
Yeah.
Oh, they can sing. Well, they're good.
They're good. I mean, they're talented. They're super humble kids, man. I met them. We've hung out. I get them some jackets and stuff. And I felt bad because when I got to meet them, I'm like, they're kids. But the world and the internet doesn't forgive. I'm like, who the fuck you are?
That's the thing that sucks too, man. Because, like... we didn't have internet and shit like that. You know how many dumb shit that we said? You know what I mean? Like, so much stupid shit that we said. Like, right now, we can't even say that. Even you guys tell me, yo, you don't say shit like that. And I don't even, without even knowing, what are you talking about? I don't think I'm saying anything in general. So that kind of sucks too, man. 17-year-old boys are getting canceled, something like that. I guess just don't say nothing at all then, in a certain point. You know what I mean? Like, just don't say nothing.
Oh, we love Mexico City. Thank you so much.
Yeah. If you got nothing good to say, just don't say it. Hold it to yourself, because if that's the case, bro, that's kind of sucks. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
There you go. Some PR training for Diego Pacheco. Stop saying dumb shit. People ask you questions, just say, oh, man, thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. I'm feeling blessed, and I'm excited for my next fight, and that's it.
Yeah, man, you want them. If you're, who cares if you're an American Mexican, bro? You're a Mexican. And you got the biggest boxing following in the world, bro. It's the Mexicans. You know what I mean? You're gonna get that. You
That'll
want
get
them
you
on your side. Yeah.
That'll get you the big fight, especially after the performance like the last one. So, man, I think that's it for today, bro. Lefty ain't here, so we don't got.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
I gotta say one thing. I don't let his ass go.
And since he's not here, we can say Free Palestine.
Yeah.
And all that. So now that he's not here, he's too scared to say it.
Yeah.
But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you guys at the next one.
Yes, sir.
This one should come out right before the Sebastian fight. Please let us know what you guys think. I know you guys go in on us on TikTok and YouTube. We love it, man. Let's keep the conversation going. But yeah, man. Peace.